Second time's the charm. This is the second time recording this. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I gotta speak a bit low, it's quite late at night. Hope you're having a good day or night, whatever time it is when you're watching this. Yeah, today we're going to be talking about the recent Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul Netflix event. Yeah, everything about the event and the 4 main fights on the card. But before we get into the video, I want to talk about myself just for a little bit. Recently I fought on a show called Outcast Boxing in a cruiserweight semi-final against a guy called Anton Bell, who's one of the top ranked heavyweights of the scene, who's come down to face me after I had a pullout. So massive respect to Anton for that. If you want to watch that fight, which you should, there will be a link down in the description, and then below that there'll also be a link for the full card, all on the Outcast Boxing YouTube channel. The vibes were immaculate, the venue was immaculate, amazing night, genuinely incredible.
I lost.
Okay, so getting into the actual content of the video now. We're gonna start the night just talking about the production behind Netflix and MVP. Now, I don't know how much is MVP and how much is Netflix, but the production on this show was really good. First of all, it's free if you have a Netflix subscription. That's incredible. Incredible. It's live on every household that has Netflix. The global reach of that, the scale, is incredible. Now getting into the actual production, again, incredible. Okay, so the stadium, huge, great capacity. The ring walk, one of the longest ring walks I've seen, with an LED floor, really gave it that pop that an event of this caliber really needed. The commentators and the guests they had, again, immaculate. Previous world champions, Mike Tyson's previous opponents, like they had Roy Jones Jr. and Evander Holyfield. There was a clip where they both went into Mike Tyson's locker room to give him some words of encouragement. The guests they had on that show, amazing. My only problem with the production is to do with the ring walks. We couldn't hear the music as viewers, like, at all. I don't know how it was in the stadium, but as viewers we couldn't hear it. And we actually didn't see most of the ring walk. They had some CGI drone shot going across the stadium with previous moments of their career. That's stupid. It's useless. We don't want to see it. We want to see them walking down the ring in the moment, in the zone. I don't care about no CGI saying that they train with a family. Could not care less. But let's get into the actual fights now. Okay, so the first fight, not including the prelims, the first fight of the main card was Neeraj Goyat, the Indian prospect that MVP have been hyping up recently, versus none other than Brazil's own top entertainer in Whindersson Nunes. Whindersson has had some experience on Kingpin and Misfits boxing, so he's working his way up in crossover scene, right? Neeraj has had some pretty good pro experience, amateur and pro experience in India. I think he was 2008's ranked #1 prospect. That's something they mentioned in the show, but like, why is that important? You know, 2008 was 16 years ago. Like, damn. Yeah, so getting into the fight, I want to say it set the standard for the night, but it really didn't, because the 2 following fights were really good, but this one was yeah, it wasn't great. Whindersson didn't look like he knew where he was. He's had some pretty good experience in his other fights, pretty good moments. I think the moment got to him on this one though, because he stood there and he took punches and he barely threw. Like, it was really weird to watch. Neeraj was pretty much in his element, although he did not impress me at all. I don't think I saw a single strong punch. It was just tipper-tapper, flurry of tipper-tapper. There was a moment where he walked Whindersson Nunes into the corner and air humped him. You know, he's trying to get his moment, he's trying to get some highlights, but yeah, that was weird. Yeah, all 6 rounds to Neeraj. I was really disappointed by Whindersson Nunes, honestly I was. They're hyping up Neeraj versus KSI or Jake Paul. Yeah, Neeraj is, he's like Pineda. Both of those guys would wipe the floor with him easily as well. Like, they wouldn't have to train for that at all. Maybe a week. That's it. Okay, going into the next fight, we had Barrios versus Ramos. My pronunciation of those names probably isn't the greatest. Barrios had, he's world champion, I don't know, I think WBC, I want to say. This was a really close fight. I was doing round by round refereeing, judging on Twitter. And you know, there was some rounds to Barrios, some rounds to Ramos. It was a really, really challenging, competitive fight. It was very good. Like I say, each fighter had their own moments, but it went to decision, and rightfully so. Barrios edged it out to retain his title. This was phenomenal, really showing what pro boxing is. Speaking of pro boxing, we're going into Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. Their fight in 2022 was Fight of the Year, rightfully so, and this was the rematch for the undisputed women's lightweight titles, I want to say. But yeah, man, this fight was very good. I think I had 2 of the first 3 rounds to Katie Taylor and 1 to Amanda. This is where we got into problems with the production. Throughout this fight, Netflix kept buffering and crashing to the point where I barely saw any of the 5th or 6th rounds, which was really disappointing because this was the fight I was most hyped to see. But from what I did see, it was basically the same thing from the first second to the last second, of just both fighters meeting in the middle and banging it out, man. You know, there was some dirty boxing because they were, you know, in the pocket right on each other like this. So the headbutting is bound to happen. I don't think a point should be taken away from that. And if you're going to take a point from Taylor, you should also take one from Serrano because they were doing the same thing. Yeah, they cut on Serrano's right eyebrow. Right there is one of the worst cuts I've seen in a long time in the sport, and it just kept, it was small, and it kept, over rounds, it kept growing and growing and growing, bigger and bigger. Yeah, so that also went to decision, going to Katie Taylor. Yeah, I don't agree with, you can look at these stats for the fight. Amanda did way better statistically. In the fight, she looked better. She was the aggressor. She looked technically better. I don't know how the judges gave it to Taylor, but they did. I don't know if it's being contested or not. Give me the trilogy. That is phenomenal. 12 rounds of just pure entertainment, which unfortunately is the exact opposite of the main event. The main event, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, 14-ounce gloves, no headgear, a professional sanctioned bout of a 27-year-old Jake Paul in his physical prime, an active fighter, versus a retired, unhealthy, unactive 58-year-old Iron Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is my idol. He's my hero. This was an incredibly challenging fight to watch. From the ring walk, I felt physically sick watching it. On the ring walk, he tripped, he looked out of the zone. To be fair, he was on mushrooms. I'm not surprised he looked out of the zone, but he looked terrified, man. He looked scared, and that scared me, you know. Jake came out copying KSI, he came out in a car. It was alright. Yeah, getting into the fight straight away. A couple of they both had their moments. Even Mike was slow. He wasn't balanced well, not active in the fight. I mean, and he got caught a lot, and it looked like he got rocked quite heavily. And like I say, balance just was not there. I want to give credit to Jake Paul for not pursuing the knockout, but at the same time, he chose to step into the ring with an almost 60-year-old man who hasn't professionally fought in basically 20 years, and that truly disgusts me. It's sickening. In terms of skill and potential, this is the exact same as putting like a KSI versus an I Show Speed, that spar they did for charity. KSI walked the floor with him. I'm very disappointed that this fight happened. Man, I'm lost for words, really, I am. But anyway, Jake carried it all 8 rounds. They hugged afterwards, embraced some positivity towards each other, which was kind of nice, I guess. But yeah, post-fight there were a lot of call-outs for Jake Paul's head, and I mean a lot. Okay, so getting into it, through the build-up we had former cruiserweight champion Tony Bellew calling out Jake for fighting a grandfather.
I've got a great grandfather, not a grandfather. This guy's got 2 hips, 2 new hips. So this guy is ready for him. He's 107, he's a great grandfather. He's ready for you. He's going to give you the chance, I promise you. Give him a chance. He's going to give you the chance. Come on, Jake. Give this fella a chance. Come on, Jake. Give him a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Jake fighting Mike is truly disgusting in terms of age. Throughout the build-up, Mike was saying, say it to my face, like, okay, you fight me. Mike, I would say it to your face. I'd say it to Jake Paul's face, I'd say it to Nikisa's face. You're almost 60, Mike. This shouldn't have happened. You got your bag, which I respect. But do an Evander Holyfield rematch, or fuck it, give me Roy Jones Jr., the sequel to the one in 2020. Just not this. But yeah, next we had Jake Paul. He's been talking about Canelo recently in this build-up. Jake, you just fought at heavyweight. Canelo is nowhere near that. And Canelo is nowhere near that for a reason. You wanting the Canelo fight makes you a weight bully. Same with Conor McGregor, who is a UFC lightweight. Weight bully. And if you and Canelo was fair, even if it wasn't fair, I still think Canelo would wipe the floor with you. He's such a skilled boxer. He's really on a completely different level to you. For weight reasons, this fight shouldn't happen. The exact same as Ryan Garcia. Now, I don't like Ryan Garcia for his recent fight against Devin Haney, where he was juiced up, etc. And I'd say the exact same thing to Jake about being a weight bully for this fight. However, make it an exhibition, don't really care about the weight. Let Ryan juice up. And let Ryan obliterate Jake. That would be good. That would be entertaining. But in a fair fight, in a professional fight, it should not happen. Jake has also received call-outs from undisputed champion Artur Beterbiev and MMA heavyweight Francis Ngannou, both of which are pretty good. Let's go into Ngannou. Jake has been fighting older, retired MMA fighters for a long time. Ngannou is exactly that. He's quite older. He's a retired... he's not retired anymore, but he's an old MMA fighter who's had a few boxing matches, 2 where he lost both of them, one of them by incredible KO, I must add. Jake, this is your path. Take this fight. Please take this fight. This would be so good. And similar, Artur Beterbiev, fucking hell, he would kill you, Jake. You'd be a corpse. You'd be pulp on the ground. He's undisputed for a reason. You would not last a round with him. Not one. But make that fight. I would love to watch it. And then again, we've had Tank calling Jake a bum. Not really for a fight, but Tank's right. It's disgusting. Respect the hell out of Mike. But Jake, that was disgusting making that fight with him. And Tank's right on that. But next for Jake, me personally, I've got a couple options. So, KSI, Tommy Fury rematch, and Vidal Riley. Fuck it, even Paul Bamba. Both of those guys professional cruiserweights. Vidal is the British champion, or a British champion should I say. They both wipe the floor with you, in my opinion. But that's a big step up for you, Jake, in terms of professional boxing. And you say you want to become a champion, this is the way to go. Now the other direction is redemption, the Tommy Fury rematch. I think it goes the same way. You don't make it happen. And the KSI fight. Oh my god, this fight should have happened in 2020. I understand why it didn't, COVID, but god man. KSI wanted this, Jake wanted this. KSI wiggled, said yeah. Then Jake wanted this, KSI wiggled, said a bit low, and Jake went up to heavyweight. Jake is ducking this fight. If you want to create big entertainment spectacles, the KSI fight is the only fight to make. And it would be great, you know it would. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to watch my fight. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all of that stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.